Yo, hello guys. Today I'll be doing an educational video about Tsurugi. What are his strengths, weaknesses, tricks you can pull with him, and how to use him overall in multiplayer. And I just want to see him more. That's it pretty much. That's why I'm doing this video. That's why I'm doing this whole thing. And I'll show you some clips with some tricks to maybe use him a little bit more, you know? So let's just jump right into it. What we have firstly is strengths. What is Tsurugi good for? Well, let's just look into his moveset. Pretty much that's what I use always on him, on the default Tsurugi. You've got the Armet. The Armet in Extreme has been buffed from 80 TP to 70, which is a really nice change, and it allows him to do it like constantly throughout the game. Because you do it once, you have to recharge, you know. That means you're recovering TP. That means when you shoot again, you have enough TP for another shot, which is pretty nice. And it was the same idea even when it was 80, but still. Another buff Tsurugi has been received in Extreme is that he has now speed, which is pretty huge. Like, it's not that much of a difference, but sometimes it's a really nice difference, thanks God. Especially when you're playing with the Mixi Max, which is another point I'll touch lately on. But yeah. What are his strengths? Well, he counters the most broad goalkeeper in the game, Tachimukai. Tachimukai can be played either with my other hand, which Tsurugi, with this Armet, or even with this shot, which is Kukichimonchi. He still has double element advantage, which is pretty nice, pretty nice. However, with Armet, it's always a go, because the power is 205 by default. If you come close to the goalkeeper and shoot, you can just get a free goal. If you come up with Kukichimonchi and shoot, it's 185 power max, which means that you always need like a good RNG to kick in, which is not bad. It's not bad. It still can be a goal. You just need a little bit of an RNG. Still, going to the Tachimukai and shooting versus my other hand, even from far away with some RNG, you can still make it and get a free goal. But that's something I'll talk about later. Now, versus Mage in the hand, which is the most broad Hisatsu in Extreme, you would need to, you know, have a little bit more of coordination and be a little bit more around the field with Sergi. And this means that you go close to the goalkeeper, you have 205 power by default. Tachimukai with Mage has 195. You don't have an advantage and a disadvantage, so they're neutral. Which means that with some RNG, like for example 10, even 9, but if it's 9 RNG for your side, the opponent, if he pulls 19, he stops you. If you have 10 and more RNG, you will score every single time versus Tachimukai, so it's more than enough, you know. But it's same idea with Zanark, and Zanark, for example, has more utility than Tsurugi, but that's another point. So yeah, the other goalkeeper that's mostly brought in the game, which now is kind of weakness, of course, is Shinsuke. If it's not Shinsuke, it's Endo. They're kind of similar in my opinion. So yeah, the moment you see that, you just know that your Tsurugi is like useless. There is no point of you going for a chain, or even if you want to go for an Armet, it's just for the flex. You cannot use it to score, that's the thing. In that moment, the thing that you should use Tsurugi for is the Mixi Max. The Mixi Max is one of the strengths that every character with this ability has. How can you utilize the Mixi Max? Even if you are not playing versus a chainer, having the Mixi Max is always good. Why? Because, for example, it resets the people that have been knocked out by damage areas of dribblings, defenses. It resets, which is pretty nice. For example, today I was playing a game where I was Adult Tsunami and I just lost versus Kitaki, and I wasn't charged. Like I needed 1 second to be charged, but I was like, okay, I'm sacrificing my Tsurugi so I can reset my Tsunami for him to go back easier or much quicker in the defense and stop and do some stuff. And because of that, I managed to stop the defense. That's pretty nice and strong point. And yeah, every single Mixi Max character can do this. For example, Fei, Taiyo, Nishiki, they can all do this. And Tsurugi is just there because he has a shoot block, which is pretty nice versus chainers. It's not as good as Fran's shoot block, which is a little bit more power and different elements, like Fran is air, earth on her elements, while Tsurugi is fire, you know. So as speed is pretty nice right now, because if you're playing versus a chainer, the Mixi Max is pretty nice. Why? You've got a speed, you've got dashes, you can just run towards your goalkeeper and be like, okay, do all your chains. After that I'll just reverse it and get the power down, because I've got S plus kick, because I got okay power on the reverse shot, because I'm Tsurugi, like I have S speed. Even if the chainer tries to pass around and do some stuff, you can still catch up and maybe do some stuff. Of course, the moment your Tsurugi runs out of stamina, it's bad. You just know you fucked up. It's bad. The chainer is just better. So we now have went through his strengths. Let's go over his negativities, the things that made him bad in the game, the things that made him not used in the game by the community. And that's not having any Hisatsu. Like, you only have shots, and you don't even have a level 3 chain, which is like so bad. You've got a level 2, it's okay, but it's 70 power. It's not as strong. If the Mixi dead drop, which is held by his brother Yuichi, he has 90 power, while this one has 70. It's very bad. Even though Tsurugi has 4 plus kick on ki, which is another strength, but it's not that much used. If you use Tsurugi for chains, you will fail. You will fail. And it's because this over here has so much, not that much power. If it had 90 power, it would have been really nice, really cute, but I don't know what's the logic. Like, bro, you're getting the power out of Tsurugi to give it to Yuichi, and Tsurugi still has a bad dead drop while Yuichi has a good dead drop. Like, it doesn't make sense, you know? Still, that's just a weakness. But there it comes under strength. He can start multiple chains because of those levels. If you want to use him as a chain starter wing, it's a really nice playstyle, let's say, for Tsurugi. But the thing is that you cannot overjump tall people like Kido, like Fudo, like Zanark. You cannot overjump them. You just have to watch the ball come up to you from the goalkeeper and you'll be like, oh bro, I'm Tsurugi, I cannot do anything. So is with Franz, so is with Gamma, so is... maybe Saru is not that bad, maybe Saru is somewhere in between. But yeah, that's overall. And the Mixi gauge also allows you to pretty fast start a chain, but the moment you just go for that, it's just bad. Another negativity is that, of course, as I said, no dribblings. You don't have anything. You don't have defense to uncharge, which if you're a new player and you're playing multiplayer, you will struggle with. If you're a little bit more experienced player and you know how to play around charge times and how to charge your character with the ball, then it's a little bit much easier for you. And you don't have a dribbling. For example, Goenji has a good dribbling, which he can uncharge with. For example, Fidio has level 1 dribblings, which he can lose matchups against, for example, Airbullet Kazamaru, which with his level 3 he wins. But Tsurugi doesn't have that. Tsurugi just, once he's charged, he's charged. After that, he's uncharged. You have to wait. Yes, of course, you have the Mixi gauge, which is always charged, which is pretty nice if you want to combine it with his level 1s, level 2s, and level 3 to start a chain, as I said. But outside of that, you're just a character who is on the field presented, who has the best mechanic in the game, which is the Mixi mechanic. It can nullify everything. It can save you a goal. It can make the enemy positioning being so bad because you've reset your players on the field. And that's overall it. Like, if you don't move around the field pretty nicely with Tsurugi, you're just bad. You're just bad. Now, how to use Tsurugi? Let me just go to my team and show you how to use Tsurugi. So I've recently tried him as a top midfielder, as you can see over here on this position. He's pretty nice as a top midfielder, I would say that. He overjumps Tachimukai, Endo. It's pretty nice, it's not a bad thing. And if you're facing a chainer and they want to go for a triple chain, just pop the Mixi Max pretty early and go and play for a reverse chain. It's pretty nice. So I would say definitely as a middle helper of the forwards, he's not that good, but yeah, if you want to play him for this and start some shots, you can just bait dribblings with Kitsuki and Tenma, and then you just go for a shot. And yeah, that's it. But of course, the enemy must have Tachimukai, or maybe Shuten. Shuten is not the goalkeeper where Tsurugi is equal in power, so it's RNG game, but whatever. Another playstyle is, for example, you play him on the wing, and that's a playstyle I really enjoy, but I enjoy playing him on this wing. For example, if I start the game, I just immediately pass up to him, he gets the ball, and because he has the Kishin user profile, which is Kishin forward B, which is pretty nice, it's medium, I mean, but with the ball, you have 2 minutes charge time. Outside, you got 8 minutes. which is okay-ish as a charge time. But with the bow, you have 2 minutes charge time. You just have to rush into the goalkeeper and get the free dead drop and pray that it's Tachimukai, Senguji, Shuten, goalkeepers that he can score on, you know, without having a disadvantage. Even though Shuten is just an RNG game. But still, outside of that, the wing playstyle really suits him. I would say this is his best playstyle. Why am I using him on this wing, you may ask? Well, the Mixi Max. If there is a Shindo tech, which is right now really present at an Xtreme, I don't know why, because Gamma is there, of course. You can use him and immediately Mixi Max if you see a Gamma, and you have double fire on the reverse shot and S plus kick, which versus Gamma, maybe if it's not fully charged, it can be reversed sometimes. And even if he's going to chain with Shindo, Shindo is double wood and you're double fire. You've got still an element of advantage and S plus kick, which is pretty nice. And you've got S speed, by the way. So yeah, definitely a good strategy. Another strategy I've seen and I've done, it's not that I've seen, I created, I invented this, and I'll show you a clip right now. Let me just do this. Let me lower the sound so you don't hear anything, because I was talking with some friends while doing it. So look up pretty closely to this gameplay. Like, the strategy is something nobody sees. Right here, I've got my normal Tsurugi, and this is the Pre-mixi Max Tsurugi, which I have currently in game on my bench. And the thing what I'm doing, I'm switching them, and later on, I am pretty quickly giving him the best, one of the best items in the game in my opinion, after doing my keys, of course. And yeah, this is the best item. It gives you 100% chargement. The moment you do a dribbling, or you uncharge with a circle, this item nullified. This item is nullified. But if you keep, like, if you don't initiate or do anything with dribblings or defenses, your character is charged for the whole second half. Until the moment you use him for a shot, dribbling, or defense. This item is so strong. Maybe even, you know, even for goalkeepers it's pretty nice to have if you're facing a chainer. But with this Tsurugi, the thing is that I have the reverse shot and the armored shot, which is pretty strong. And that's why I've baited them. And you can see the numbers. The numbers, if your opponent is not paying attention, he won't even notice that the number, you must have similar numbers to do this stack. Because look, I have 723, 728. That's the only difference you can spot. And of course, if you have the captain thing on Tsurugi, that's another difference the opponent can spot. But if he cannot, he'll do the same as my opponent in this clip. So what I did here was to kind of bait him to use the defenses of his midfielders. And look up, oh, Sakuma uses defense. And then he's like, okay, because in the first half I reversed one chain and I have one charge out of Tsurugi. So he must do another dribbling. And he's doing it, so he can get the the Mixi Max out of me, but that's not the right guy, that's the wrong number, and that just gave me a free goal later on. As you can see, passing up to him, and just holding up, he cannot do anything. I have the fire mode, I have everything. I've planned this so well, and I'm getting a little bit of a bad RNG, but still, it's a man with the hand Tachimukai, so I'm scoring. That's a trick I've recently discovered with Sergi in like, I don't know, a week? Not even a week. And it's really powerful, but it's only okay if you're maybe facing a chainer and you still want to do this. As I said, you can do this either on midfield. It doesn't really matter where your Tsurugi is for this deck. Just have similar numbers on both of them and don't have the captain mark on one of them, so you're not fucked, like your opponent doesn't notice. And your Tsurugi, your normal Tsurugi has to be Mixi Max, which is another thing. But yeah, that's overall how to use him. You just need to move around the field with dashes pretty consistently. Like, I've got to show you, I think I've got some clips in this game, but it's nothing so special. Absolutely nothing so special. Yeah, that's it pretty much. I think that's it. You just gotta move with him. And you gotta know that you don't have a dribbling, neither a defense. If you go for the dead drop armed, try to be very careful with where you're positioning yourself. Try to burn the enemies before you're charged, or when you're charged, but before you're on charge. Because once you're on charge, you gotta go through the 8 minutes again, or if you're holding the ball, 2 minutes. But just be careful how you use Tsurugi. Why am I doing this video, once again, is how to... because I wanna see him in multiplayer. I think he's definitely a nice wing. Of course, many no-match players will say, why would I use him? That's because they're getting the same team over and over and over and over again. And that's why I've revisited some characters like Tsunami Adult, like Tsunami Japan, because I think I want to have a fun in this game, you know? I don't want to do the same thing over and over and over and over again. It's so boring. And if I see more characters like Tsurugi in different positions, it will be so fun. For example, Hakuryu wasn't supposed to be a wing player, but people have brought him to wing and they have success with it. Like, why should I say, bro, it's bad? No. Like, it's creating another playstyle. It's fun. It's fun when people are creative. And that's why I'm doing this video. To help people use such characters like Tsurugi. And, like, to just see such characters like Tsurugi in multiplayer. Yep, that's for me, guys. Thank you once again for watching. I think I'll do another one educational video, but not in the near future. Bye bye.